You know, we were birthed as a North American mission where our parish or our ministry territory was Canada, US, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, which I used to refer to as the West Indies Islands. And then US possessions were thrown in there.
When I was 12, my folks went to Haiti as church planters with Conservative Baptist Home Mission Society. That became the foundation for everything that we were involved in.
Dr. Jones was a very brilliant hillbilly. He came from Tennessee. He never let us forget that, from the hills of Tennessee. Food that he ate, expressions that he used, thoughts that he had. Rufus Jones was an interesting guy.
Dr. Jones hired me. I was the last person he hired me a month before he left, and then Jack Estep took over a month after I started.
We had many great laughs with Rufus over things that he would say or things that he would do. But he was underneath it a brilliant man.
Just a very nice, kind person, very friendly. The interview was easy. I didn't feel like I had to be nervous around him.
I think Dr. Jones always had a future thought in his mind. And so I think he thought the mission was going to do a good job, would continue to grow. If we were going to grow, we would need to expand, not only expand what we were doing, but expand fields and areas, expand structure, organizational structure. And he was always open to discussing these things with us. We had great association with Dr. Jones through it all. And so we enjoyed, because anytime we went out for coffee, we could come back with some new ideas that we heard from Rufus that day. And so I think we caught the vision also that our mission is to grow and expand.
We went to Honduras right after we got married, so I could go with him.
George was working in church planting up on the North Coast. He was very innovative. He wasn't doing church planting like traditional church planters. He was looking at having the nationals do their own church planting. And so he would recruit church planters out of churches that were being planted.
George's idea was train one national, and he can train a whole lot more missionary, a whole lot more of his own people. You've avoided the culture barrier and the language barrier, which speeds it up tremendously.
Plant a church that'll plant a church that'll plant another church. And so George saw a lot of successes right off the bat.
We didn't know exactly how this was going to play out. We wanted to expand the ministry, have it operative in as many places as possible. The Lord allowed us to see growth, and I think we were excited to see the kind of growth and where it was going and what a difference it was sort of making to the mission itself. And so I think that caused us to be on board with Dr. Jones, perhaps a lot more than people would have thought we ever could have been. I was good friends with both Rufus Jones and Dick Faulkner, and so my friendship really helped build a foundation that the three of us enjoyed for many years. That was quite a motley crew, you know. I came into it with the thoughts that Dr. Jones has introduced a lot of things, the inner city ministry, the campus ministry, ministry to the lower class, to those that were down and out. I came on saying, frankly, I want to see these ministries expanded.
I was appointed straight out of college. That was a big thing at the time because most organizations required seminary. Later on, under Jack's leadership, we changed the seminary requirement and we decided what is behind it. We want qualified people, but it doesn't always have to happen through a traditional educational model. Increasingly what we did is we moved the appointment process from board members to staff and missionaries that were more involved in the ministry. We raised up people from within our ministries and we knew them. Now, we took chances with people. Didn't always work, but we decided we wanted to be an organization that would take a chance with someone, even if there were some question marks or some mistakes they had made in the past.
Those were pretty high days we were going through. They were good days.
I loved it because it was such a family atmosphere. I had worked in a number of places before that, and it wasn't like that at all.
We found a great team working together. It was exciting. It went into giving us that desire to be part of that team and work in Honduras.
We did those kinds of things. We trusted people in the field. We tried to make sure that our standards were really based upon can they do the job and not based upon a particular way that American Christians or white evangelicals always saw things. Some of our people from the city, we saw them in action. Well, they didn't meet our qualifications, but they could do the job. They could start churches. They could minister to the poor, to the homeless. And so we shifted our qualifications in a way that allowed for them. And many of those people have become some of our most faithful and fruitful missionaries. So those are some of the things that we've done that kind of kept us on the cutting edge and allowed us to appoint people from over 30 different birth countries and people of American minorities, Native Americans, African Americans, Hispanics. And that was really positive for us as we moved in that direction.